I made this soap in springtime when the dandelion flowers were in full bloom. Now the spring is over. This is a hot summer day when I am recording this voiceover, but still the soap still is beautiful and nice for the whole summer. I'm making the olive oil infusion with the dandelion flowers. Since I'm using the fresh dandelion flowers, I didn't dry them, because when you dry the dandelion flowers they go to seed, so it would get fluffy. I had to use it within the 2 days, so I didn't infuse for a long time. I have 2 jars of the dandelions, as you can see. One is with just dandelions, and other one with dandelions and annatto seeds. So one will just have a dandelion goodness in it, and the other one have also the annatto seeds, which will add a nice yellow color to the soap. So basically I'm doing 2 different, for one soap I'm making 2 different batters, one with the yellow color and one without. Adding my other liquid oils. This is my neem oil, castor oil. Castor oil stabilizes bubbles. It doesn't add bubbles itself, but it just stabilizes them, and it's actually, anyways, the nice oil to use, very good for your skin. And since I don't have the coconut milk at the moment, so I use the coconut milk powder. And also sometimes it's nice to use the coconut milk powder if you use some liquid which makes the full liquid for your soap. For example, if you use carrot juice or some other juice instead of water, so you can add the coconut milk powder. And then kaolin clay is a nice clay to add to the soap. It helps to keep the fragrance better and also adds nice slip to the soap, and very nice little tiny bit of a nice soft exfoliation. If you add a lot of kaolin clay, it will add more exfoliation. It will be kind of different kind of soap, but this is just a little bit. So these are my essential oils. Most of my essential oils I buy from Mystic Moments. They have a very nice collection of the essential oils. I think if you are from America, that is like, what was the name? The New Direction Aromatics. That's the same company, I think. And the one in a bull bottle, that was I bought in Latvia, a different company, so I can't tell you where that exactly is from. And you can see that the oils are already different color. One is darker and one is lighter. Adding my melted hard oils, which is cocoa butter, the coconut oil and shea butter. And of course you have to put the protection for your eyes and for your hands. The hands are not so, if some live water will come on your hands, it's not so bad. You can quickly wash it with the water, but for your eyes it's absolutely necessary, because if you don't protect your eyes, the bad things can happen with the live water. And then I'm pre-mixing the oils with the additives, which makes it easier to mix it later and prevents little lumps remaining there. And these are my live waters, and you can see the live waters are different. One is just with the water, so it's white. Another water has indigo powder in it, so it will make not exactly blue color, but a bluish green color. In this case, it doesn't always come out blue. It depends also which essential oils you use and which other additives are in there. So in this case, it didn't become exactly blue, but it's bluish green. And I also add sea salt and citric acid to my live water. It helps with the hardness of the soap and also with the reduction of the soap scum. And you can see I'm dividing the bluish green color, and I will mix it with the other batter. So I would have 3 different colors in this soap. And this yellow color, when I add to this bluish green, it will make a nice green, darker green color. And here I'm adding a little bit of zinc oxide to stabilize the green color, because the green color usually, if it's not stabilized with zinc oxide, these natural green colors, they tend to turn brownish. They don't stay this nice green as they are, and also they kind of tend to fade faster. But if you add a little bit of zinc oxide, it makes it a nicer green color and also a more stable green color. And this is where I suddenly realized that I haven't added, that the peeling was somehow wrong. Something was not feeling right, and then I realized that actually I forgot to add my cocoa butter in the soap batter. So I had a frantic moment of melting my cocoa butter and calculating on a paper by weight how much of the cocoa butter I have to add in each mix, because you can see that I already had mixed it in the middle with the color, so it was like a very frantic. Actually, I didn't film all the process, it would be too lengthy and too chaotic, and I was like totally freaking out, but I managed to save the soap, these two batters. The top layer, unfortunately, I was not able to save because it got too hard, too fast. It was like crazy. You can see it's already too hard. I was not able to save the top layer. I had to remake it off camera because it would be too long to show it all. But the yellow layer stayed nice and liquid. Indigo powder in the soap, it tends to thicken the soap like much faster, and soap becomes thicker much faster because the temperature rises much faster. But this first layer and the middle layer, like your yellow, you will see it will be fine. But this layer I managed to save. Actually, because it was getting so thick, I was not able to do design the way I intended. But as usually with the natural soaps, with the cold processed soaps, you always have to have plan B, because sometimes, some additive or something, I don't know, sometimes even you make the recipe you have made before and somehow it doesn't work the way you intended. So I had to quickly think how to make the things work out. So you can see the batter is quite thick. And then I decided to make the sculpted layers. I'm deciding which way to make it. I thought maybe I will make it with the I don't know how to call them. I was kind of trying to make it like a dandelion leaf, but it didn't come out exactly that way. But at the end, I don't really like the design how it came out. But at this moment when you see me, I am still panicking and freaking out about what just happened, because if that wouldn't have happened, I would have made totally different design and it would be fine. You see, this top layer is totally crazy, not fine. So I'm adding the melted cocoa butter to this middle layer. It was also thickening more because it was waiting for so long, but it was still quite nice, quite manageable consistency. As you can see, it's still pourable, it's still mixable, it's still good. I added a little bit of zinc oxide to this one, to the part of it, just to make a little difference, just to make it more interesting, just a little paler, maybe a little more opaque. It's not so visible in a soap, it's just a little kind of tiny bit of interest of color in the design. Not really necessary. Maybe next time if I will make it, I will not do it. But it's not very visible. It's just a little bit of the textural interest in the coloring of the soap. You can see that this yellow layer, it worked out fine, but this top layer, as you can see, this is totally unusable. It's yeah, I just discarded it. I wanted to put it in a different form and use for something else, but at the end it was like a mesh. So see, I made a totally new layer, exactly the same way as it would have been if I would have not made this mistake with the cocoa butter, if I would have added it on time. So I didn't film it. I was not sure how these ridges would look in a soap at the end, but yeah, you will see the design is really nice at the end. Sorry for the noise outside. Somehow today when I'm recording the voiceover, there is so many sounds outside, so I can't control them. So yeah, sorry for that, if you can hear them. See, now the layer looks totally green. It will turn more bluish, much lighter at the end. And very simple design for the top. That's not what I usually do, but yeah, since I made the ridges inside, so I'm trying to make the design on the top to match what design inside. It's kind of not as smooth, it's just more like chunky, since the design inside is chunky, so I'm trying to follow the same. And on the top I am adding calendula petals, since the dandelion petals, if I would dry them, they will become white and fluffy and will not be so nice, but kind of the calendula petals in this case, they remind you of the dandelion flowers because it's yellow petals, and the calendula petals dry very nicely, so they are fitting in this case. They look nice. And also I also love very much to add tapioca pearls. They give a nice accent, and they come in a white and green color naturally. You can buy them in an Asian store, and sometimes I even add a little bit of color to it. I just mix it with little oil and then add some powder, some herbal powder, just to deepen the colors or change the colors. But I think this time it's just white and green as they are. And then I like to use the edible gold spray, which is meant for the cakes, on top of my soap, just to create this little bit of the shine, little bit of golden shine on the top, which looks really nice. In my opinion, it looks very nice. And that's it. That's how they look. And this is the next day. I'm ready for cutting. I don't keep it for 24 hours since I add a little bit of salt. It helps to be able to unmold much faster, and soap is much harder. If I wait for too long, then it's really even hard to cut. So usually if I make the soap in the evening, in the afternoon, then I cut in the early morning, right after my morning rituals. And then the soap is already hard enough to cut. Sometimes it's quite hard. So that's why I like to use the salt for the soap. And it also, the salt, if you add the salt to the soap, the soap lasts much longer in a shower. It doesn't melt away very quickly, as sometimes the handmade, cold process soap does. If it's soft oils and it's not cured enough, or it's not hard enough, and if you don't add salt or sodium lactate, then it doesn't last for very long. So I'm very happy with the design. It looks really interesting. And you can see this is not really blue, but it's green, but bluish green. Nice. During the curing it became a little more bluish, but it's a nice color. I like this yellow. The difference is in the yellow, as I said, it's not so pronounced. You cannot see too much of it. Basically looks like a solid color, unless you look very closely. But the greens are really nice, and all together the design is really satisfying, and smells also really nice of the essential oils I added. So this was the most satisfying and sometimes most frustrating part of the soap making, the soap cutting. And I'm happy how it turned out, really nice. And the next step is soap stamping. And also I use the gold, the same edible gold, which is meant for the cakes, for the stamping my soaps with my logo. And if you liked the video, and if you watched so far, then probably you liked my video. So I would be very happy and grateful if you would leave me thumbs up. That's very good for YouTube algorithms, so they would show my video to more people. That's the best way to support me. And I will be happy to see you next time when I make a new video about something. If you have any suggestions, any questions, anything, then leave it in the comments below, and I will be happy to see you next time. Ciao!